Welcome into the CHGO Bears Podcast. Happy Monday, everybody. We are back at it another week in this offseason. My name's Adam Hoge. This is Mark Carman.
Hello.
That is Nicholas Moreano.
Hola.
Who survived a bachelor party in New Orleans over the weekend. Just barely.
Yeah, I sound a little sick here, but we made it through. I mean, you just need a weekend in New Orleans. That is it. Had the early Sunday flight. That was a poor decision,
Yes,
but
that was bad.
We're here. We're ready to go.
Yeah.
You actually sound better than Hoge. Hoge sounds terrible.
Wow.
Good start to the week.
Wow.
Rough start
You
for Hoge.
sound terrible.
I don't think I sound bad at all. I am not sick.
I'm sick. I got a lot of problems. But I'm glad to be here, buddy.
Yeah, okay. Fun show planned for you today. Got a little bit of Bears news off the top we will discuss, and we are starting our opponent preview segments that we're going to be doing not every day, but kind of as needed as we fill this offseason calendar. Yes, Carm?
I just want to point out that there's a lot of podcasts out there, none better than this one, damn it. And I don't know anybody else who is ready for week one for a preview on June the 10th like we are. So take that, rest of Bears podcast content world. We're ready to talk some Titans today. I'm impressed.
Well, here's the deal. You start to lay it out in a spreadsheet, as I did over the last couple of weeks, and believe it or not, training camp's going to be here before we expect it to or want it to.
I end the show. The guy once the guy busts out spreadsheet, I go dark. I laid it out.
You've never seen a spreadsheet in your life,
You,
including the one I shared with you last week.
I looked at it this morning, actually. Hogue spreadsheets. That should be another podcast.
Keep us organized,
That
man.
would be a boring podcast. You don't want that.
Happy birthday, by the way, again, to Crystal, who's here for the Happy Monday, everyone.
Yeah.
It was her birthday weekend, damn it. Happy birthday to Crystal.
I feel like it's been her birthday for a week and a half now.
That's how things go.
But I appreciate it. It's also a shout out to Erica in the chat saying the next 6 weeks are going to be super boring.
Easy.
Not
with us.
That's why we're previewing the Tennessee Titans today. We are ready to go. We got it filled out. Carm can make fun of the spreadsheet all he wants, but the spreadsheet has positional previews. It has guests. There's a Bears player joining us later this week right here in this damn studio.
Thursday.
So he can rip the spreadsheet all he wants, but it also has 2.5 weeks where it says Hogue off. Those are going to be the great days. Enjoy those days.
We will survive.
Carm.
Those days, Mark.
I got plans too, buddy. You and Braggs are not the only one taking vacation time. Nick going to bachelor parties. But I don't even want to leave this seat. I'd like to be here every day for the rest of my life.
Well, sometimes we are worried that you actually do sleep here.
Got it early today.
Yeah.
Me and Jim, we bonded. It was nice.
Okay.
Are we about to celebrate the Bears bringing back Marcedes Lewis?
We are, because a little bit of, one might even call it a snid bit, but we're going to lead with a snid in a bit to start the show today. Jay Glazer coming out on a Sunday afternoon. Little
Glazer.
Marcedes Lewis news. That and apparently straight from Marcedes Lewis that he is going to go visit House Hall today now on Monday as we do this glorious show and with the intention of re-signing. I was wondering if this was going to come down. In fact, there was a moment last week during minicamp where I was thinking about all of a sudden, sometimes all it takes is one starter to be missing practice, and you go, this looks a little different, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And Cole Kmet got a little dinged up on the first day of minicamp last week. Nothing serious, but precautionary. He sat out Wednesday and Thursday, and all of a sudden you're going, that's a lot of Daniel Carlson.
Stephen Carlson.
That's a lot of Stephen Carlson, which accidentally just proved my point.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That was fantastic and definitely not on purpose.
Close enough. 88. Great man.
So, Marcedes Lewis, come on down. You know, this makes a lot of sense. First of all, I don't know if you guys remember this. I don't know why you would, but on locker room cleanout day, we talked a little bit about Marcedes Lewis.
We did.
I remember it.
Because just going back, I searched my own tweets this morning to find the exact quote, but back on January 8th when the locker room was being cleaned out and players were leaving for the offseason, we had a great conversation with Marcedes Lewis, who told us that he intended on playing this year, that he was not thinking about retirement. He said, I'm rolling. It's crazy because I'll be 40 in May, but when you watch the film, it don't look like it. Love that attitude. So the now 40-year-old will be entering year 19 in the NFL. I think he's a great fit for the Bears. He was, quite frankly, underrated. Guy had 4 catches. So not going to steal the headlines with 4 catches and 1 touchdown. But one of the most interesting moments of that entire season last year, I thought, was when Marcedes Lewis caught that 1 touchdown. Mm-hmm. It was like the Bears won the Super Bowl.
Matt Eberflus went nuts.
I mean, the coaches, the players, you could just tell how much respect they have for that guy. So we've been talking a lot about with this offense with Shane Waldron, 2 tight end sets. So tight end depth is going to matter. Veteran presence in that locker room, somebody everybody respects. And I think this just makes a lot of sense all around.
Okay, first of all, this is a great day for all of us who are aging gracefully, and that's exactly what Marcedes Lewis is doing. This guy has been here more than a minute. You go to his Twitter, which I spent probably too much time on this morning.
Okay.
June 7th, Marcedes Lewis. Move different. Experience different. Old keys don't open up new doors.
Ooh, deep.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
You know, he's not stuck back when he was a rookie, which I went back and did that too on the Marcedes Lewis dive. Did you know that his first ever touchdown pass came in his 9th game against the Buffalo Bills from David Garrard? It made it 17-14 Buffalo over Jacksonville.
Wow.
Yep. That's the and you know, the touchdown pass last year that you mentioned, against Arizona, big dog. I already saw that. And you mentioned 4 catches, but he was only targeted 5 times. That's an 80% right there. Every time you go to Lewis, dude comes through. And, you know, let's go through each of those catches. He had one for 8. He had one for 16. He had one for no yards. I mean, that was amazing. He had one for 4, and he had one for 1 yard. The 8-16-0-4-1 combination, Marcedes Lewis. This is my guy. And you know what they just had in Long Beach, where he grew up, which, of course, you know this, Hoge. Long Beach, about 20 miles south of L.A. They just had they had Marcedes Lewis Day, the city of Long Beach, with the ceremony for the Long Beach Poly football alum. May 21st was Marcedes Lewis Day. I don't know if you guys have ever had a day after yourself, but I certainly have not, and Marcedes Lewis has. And Marcedes Lewis is a Bear, and Marcedes Lewis should be a diehard, damn it. But congrats. I like leaders. I like leaders. I like guys in the locker room that are respected. He is that, and it makes
my brain's off on a tangent thinking about what a Mark Carman day would look like.
Well, that's a good tangent. I mean, dude's 40 years old, man. 40. I mean, he could almost be my tennis partner. I love this guy.
Mark Carman day would start with some tennis in the morning.
Then you take the train somewhere to talk to yourself a little bit.
Train trip, at least 3 naps.
Yep. You got to sneak into a stadium. You got to,
swim in a Midtown pool.
I was going to say a random conversation with like Andrew Vaughn in the White Sox locker room.
That would be good.
For no reason.
That's true. You need to cover some event that no one cares about that you had a lot of fun at.
Yeah.
Basically.
Very sporadic.
There's that. And then,
throw a cheddar fry in there, maybe a milkshake. You're good.
Yep,
you got it.
Yep.
There it is.
Go all over.
Nick, will you celebrate Marcedes Lewis for everybody too?
Yeah, because Jose Ochoa has a comment that speaks to Marcedes Lewis, and he blocks his ass off when you think about him, what he was asked to do with the Bears. You mentioned the catches that he had, but he had 64 pass blocking attempts. How many sacks did Marcedes Lewis give up? 0.
Yes.
So it's a guy that, he knows his role, and at age 40, he's not going to be somebody that you're obviously going to rely on in your offense or be very dependent on, but when he gets in there to play, you know what he can do. He is almost like a glorified athletic offensive lineman at this point. But if you leave him open, like you did on that one touchdown reception that he had, he'll catch the ball too. So I think the Bears know what they're getting in Lewis. Lewis knows what he can provide for the Bears. And, you know, when you go 2 tight end sets, you want to ideally have somebody that can be the primary pass catcher and someone that can block. So I think Lewis provides that part, obviously, in his game. And, you know, I think it's just he's a good – you want to be around a guy like that because, look, you don't get to age 40 in the NFL without having a really good just workout regiment that you stick to consistently. Lewis does. He does. I think he's been on the same routine for, over a decade now. So you can learn things from him, especially how you can just stay in the NFL, and that's what he's done.
Well, you know, if someone wanted to make a Marcedes Lewis documentary on his 19-year career, I would watch it. I'm guessing Carm would not. But
I want to do that documentary.
But I'm sure you know. But I remember talking to Cole Kmet about this last year. This guy has changed, like, almost, I would compare it to, like, a pitcher that has to go from, like, a starter to, you know, maybe becomes a closer, and then he changes into a middle reliever just to extend his career, and he's still getting paid good money.
Yeah.
You know, 12, 13 years into it because he's been willing to adapt and not just be like, no, I'm a starter. This is what I'm going to be. And that's what Marcedes Lewis has done as a tight end. I mean, he has had these phases of his career where, you know, he's been a heavy pass catcher, and now he's accepted his role of like you said, Nick, almost being like this 6th offensive lineman out there.
Yeah.
And he's still going strong.
Well, break down how that's going to go when Shane Waldron dials up his 2 tight end sets, Hoge.
Well, there's one word that always comes to mind to me as a coach. It's very important, and that is the word trust. And when you hear Nick talk about didn't allow a sack, I believe we have a rookie quarterback in this city that everybody's concerned about not getting hit. Well, that helps having a guy like that out there that you can trust, that Caleb Williams can trust as a pass blocker, and somebody who's very effective in the run game too. So I think we're all kind of curious what this Bears running game looks like. And it's also worth pointing out, you know, the Bears brought in Tanyan, they brought in Lewis, and this Green Bay South with Luke Getsy coaching. And obviously Marcedes Lewis was more valuable than just being, you know, a fit with Luke Getsy, because now they're bringing him back in a brand new offense with a different coaching staff on that side of the ball.
Listen, this guy resonated, and I can't believe that we've been able to do 10 minutes on the Marcedes Lewis retention, but we've done it, and I think we've hit Marcedes Lewis premium content talk levels that no one else has hit. As you know, again, this organization, this franchise is about winning. Not that they ever do win, but they hope to win, and perhaps this will be yet another pathway to 9, 10, 11 wins this year. You need vets, and we've got one in Marcedes Lewis. I mean, Hoge said before the show, he's like, they signed Marcedes Lewis, so we got to start the show with that. It's a big – I'm super excited about it. I'm like, really? And then we just did it. You impressed me.
You seem impressed with yourself, mostly. The Bears depth chart, by the way, at tight end.
Will we do this for Kari Blasingame in 14 years? Go ahead.
Well,
you do know it's June 10th. If this was March 10th, he probably wouldn't even been mentioned.
I got it, but still, but you got to give us credit. 10 minutes on Marcedes Lewis. Guy caught 5 balls last 4
19
balls.
years in the NFL, man. Let's go.
I mean,
sometimes you got to give these guys credit.
He needs to be on the show. We should at least get 1% of the Marcedes Lewis will.
There's a lot of people out there that are amazed that you made it 19 years in your business.
I'm one of those people.
Marcedes Lewis should be doing a podcast on you.
They keep opening
Showing
the door.
you the
Mark
respect
Carman.
that you deserve.
Damn right. Me and
Yeah.
that's why we're kindred spirits.
Okay.
Lewis Carm Lewis, the path
Now
of
he's
Lewis.
adapted. You have not.
Yeah, exactly. He's doing I'm still using an old key. This guy went new key. He's using his thumbprint to get into buildings. This guy's incredible.
Cole Kmet, of course, Gerald Everett, who was signed, but he was signed to kind of be the more of the Robert Tonyan
Yes.
guy.
Yeah.
So that's where it still makes sense to have Lewis as the third, and then Steven/Daniel Carlson. There is a guy, one of the college free agents, Brendan Bates running out there in 87.
Yeah,
who-
I've noticed Bates.
yeah, I've noticed him. That's all.
Yeah.
He's there.
Bates
I've
is out
noticed
there.
him. I've noticed him. And maybe that was just because Cole Kmet was out and the guy was getting more reps last week. But maybe something to keep an eye on there. Always, we've been talking a lot about how things need to change.
Damn right.
Marcedes Lewis has changed his role as a tight end.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that does not need to change ever, that's the great taste of Miller Lite.
Mm-hmm.
Don't screw around with that. It's the original light beer. To this day, it's still the best one. Miller Lite is more of the taste you want and less of the stuff you don't. I had plenty of Miller Lights over the weekend.
I had too
Say
many.
that. Assuming Nick had some
Yep.
as well. Because Miller Lite keeps it simple. Undebatable quality, great taste, only 96 calories. It's the beer that strips away everything you don't need and holds on to what matters most. A light beer that tastes like beer, less filling, and only 96 calories. The original light beer since 1975. No matter how your team changes, you can always enjoy the great taste of Miller Lite. Tastes like Miller time. To get Miller Lite delivered right to your door, visit MillerLite.com/CHGO football. Think about what I just said. You can get Miller Lite delivered right to your door. Visit MillerLite.com/CHGO football. Or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories per 12 ounces.
And a great place to have a Miller Lite would be on the flight over to London. Come with us to London. Come with us via True Fan Travel, your passport to the world of sports. Over 8,000 fans traveled to over 145 trips last year. Don't just watch the game. Let's live it. Come with us. We got a flight to London for you. We got 4 to 5 star hotel accommodations. We got a welcome event. We've got a private boat cruise on the River Thames. We've got the all-inclusive tailgate party close to the stadium. We have a ticket to the game that is incredibly difficult to get. Trust me, I've been trying to figure that one out. October 9th to the 15th. Come with us. Transportation, airport transfers to and from the game. Greg Braggs will be your on-site trip coordinator along with the professionals that True Fan Travel provide as well. Braggs is at the hotel every morning. Of course, we're going to have meet and greets, too. We're going to be hanging out. Braggs is getting drunk every night, which he's doing right now on a golf course somewhere. Head to truefantravel.com to make your deposit, secure your spot. Come with us. Bears, Jags. Marcedes Lewis started his career as a Jag. Full circle. Damn it. There you go. True Fan Travel. They're the best.
And how about this? Right on time. The Bears make it official. The big dog is back.
Oh.
Big dog. What in God's name was that?
You'll have to go back and rewatch that one. I don't
I
like
thought,
Big Dog.
I thought he was doing like his sarcastic, weird noise he likes to do, but then he
Don't do that.
transitioned into a dog noise.
Big Dog's back. I mean, we might as well bark for the guy right now for doing now 19 minutes on Marcedes Lewis.
1-year
19
contract, turned 40 last month, played 18 NFL seasons with the Jaguars, Packers, and now the Bears. The most by a tight end in league history.
Look at
Woof.
that.
Woof.
He's appeared in 268 games, the most in the NFL among active players. 225 starts, 436 pass catches for 5,113 yards and 40 touchdowns. That touchdown against the Cardinals gave him the big 4-0 to match his age. How about that?
Wow.
How about that?
Symmetry. 6'6", 265 pounds. Also considered to be one of the league's best blocking tight ends.
Damn right.
No sacks.
There you go.
Let's go.
All right. So, game number, what did I say here? He's played 268 games. So, game number 269. Nice. Will be against the Tennessee Titans. Week 1. Let's talk about the Tennessee Titans, shall we? start to break these down. We are going to do these opponent previews kind of as they need to come. And this is our first one. I think we're going to do the Houston Texans tomorrow. Then we got some OTAs Wednesday. We got a special guest on Thursday. So we'll sprinkle these in as necessary throughout the next month and a half or so. But we are breaking this down with the Titans. To start us off, week 1, take a quick look at what they look like as an organization. Of course, Rand Carthon, who came over from the 49ers. I believe he was in the mix for the Bears job, memory serves, when they hired Ryan Poles. He got the Titans job. Somewhat of a shocking offseason firing. Mike Vrabel, we all believe was one of the more popular head coaches out there. And then not only did he get fired by the Titans, which obviously was to infighting, whatever, lining everything up the way they wanted so everybody was on the same page. But nobody hired Mike Vrabel.
That was interesting.
Which was definitely interesting. I believe he had a cup of coffee actually with the Wisconsin Badgers during spring practice. I had heard he was doing some stuff there. So they go on, they hire Brian Callahan, who comes down from the Bengals.
39 years old, born in Champaign. Yep.
And the Titans won 6 games last year, and the over-under right now for this season is 6.5. So kind of right there where, maybe they'll make a little improvement. Expectations aren't too high. They hire Nick Holtz, who comes over from the Jaguars, and Denard Wilson, who comes over from the Ravens. Neither of those coordinators have called plays.
Yep.
And Brian Callahan is going to call plays, actually, and he's not used to doing that from Cincinnati. So sort of a Matt Nagy-ish situation there where he gets hired as the head coach. He's going to call plays even though he didn't do it a ton. I'm sure he got a little bit of experience here and there, but wasn't the primary play caller with the Titans. So there you go in terms of their front office and coaching staff and big moves being made there, all to help Will Levis play quarterback better in year 2.
I was watching some of the OTA Titan footage to get ready for this segment, and according to everything that I could find, the defense...
You breaking down OTA film.
Yep, that's right. Press conference film is real tough, deep dive. But I was listening to what they were saying, and the defense ahead of the offense right now, which is not a huge surprise. I actually, just listening to Callahan talk, I mean, he's got an easy way about him. I sort of just appreciated his demeanor. They're working on situational football over there. The defense whooping the offense on 7-on-7s. But what's standing out is, you mentioned their DC, Denard Wilson, who's coming over from the Ravens. And Wilson promises their defense will, quote, be violent in their approach. They're going to be doing, from day one, we are going to press everything, period. So you go back to last year, the Titans had press coverage 33% of the time. There's only 3 teams in the NFL that had less press coverage. I know, Nick, you're a big press coverage guy.
I like the press coverage.
Yep. Didn't use it much when he was with the Eagles as their secondary coach, but then with the Ravens, they did a ton, a little more aggressive. And you look at the Titans' cornerbacks, they brought over L'Jarius Sneed from the Chiefs, who's very physical. The Chiefs pressed 83% of the time last year. They also signed Chidobe Awuzie, who likes to play that way too. And then they got Roger McCreary. That's 3 guys. And the reason why I'm keying in on this is that as we look forward to September, it seems like the Titans are going to be very up and pressing on the Bears quarterbacks, which, could be something early in the season. Will Caleb and company be ready to deal with that when, the offense might get, not flow as easily as you would like it to early in the season. So I think that is something to pay attention to with the Titans.
Well, yeah, especially, too, when you look at the strength of this Bears offense, too, those 3 wide receiver sets, when you get Rome Odunze out there with DJ Moore and Keenan Allen, you're going against what I think is a really good, maybe even slightly underrated cornerback room with Sneed, Chidobe, and then Roger McCreary. So when you hear that they're going to press, they're going to play physical. Callahan was saying a big reason why they wanted to get Denard Wilson over here as the DC, and he was on a podcast with Robert Mays, was that when he was in Cincinnati, looking at some of the defenses that they would face, Baltimore was the one that gave him trouble. And he was, again, working with the DBs at that time, but you're bringing him now, Wilson, over to Tennessee to obviously be the defensive play caller. When you have a stacked cornerback room and you have a guy that's been familiar with cornerbacks, like, that's where your strength of that defense is right now. So that's going to be a really fun matchup to watch when you're looking at Keenan Allen, the trio of wide receivers the Bears have versus a trio of defensive backs the Titans have. That's going to be fun to watch in September.
Yeah, I like the matchups, honestly, on both sides of the ball when it comes to the wide receivers versus the secondary. I think this will be a good first test for what the Bears are rolling out there with DJ Moore and Keenan Allen and Rome Odunze, and obviously how Caleb Williams fares against some of these guys in the secondary. Yep. And then on the flip side, the Titans, they have some weapons now. They've been trying to stack up their wide receiver room a little bit better. So they go out. They already have the Hopkins from last year, and then they add Calvin Ridley, who follows the OC over from Jacksonville, and you add Tyler Boyd to the mix too, against what the Bears have in their secondary, which we all view as one of their strengths. Yeah. So I think this comes down to two young quarterbacks and how they fare in what should be somewhat evenly matched battles on both sides of the ball, with the wide receivers going up against a couple strong secondary. I do think the Bears secondary I would give the
So Snead and Jalen Johnson, those two are like the top of the top.
I know, that's why it's fun.
Snead's way more physical.
But I like the Bears safeties better.
True.
And of course, Kevin Byard is going to have his little revenge game situation against the Titans, who traded him mid-season last year. I mean, I'd give the Bears a slight edge in overall secondary. I mean, you probably right now have to put Snead first.
Yeah, over.
If you're just doing the individual players. But I think if you ranked out all the secondary players here, the Bears would come out on top in terms of overall depth. I think you make that same argument on with the wide receivers, too.
I think you have a bigger edge at wide receiver.
Hopkins is still pretty damn good.
Yeah,
but
he's getting up
Ridley. Yeah, I would give it to the Bears for wide receivers.
Yeah. Did you realize they gave Ridley $92 million over 4 years?
Yeah, he got paid.
I mean,
paid.
A lot of Bears fans want the Bears to sign him.
Yeah, right. Dude straight gambles, gets suspended. No one cares. Oh, he had a great year with Jacksonville last year, over 1,000 yards. He actually was planning on
going back. He had a case of the drops, too, a little bit there.
You need to do a little bit more reading on, the deep dive on what was going on there. The guy was battling some mental health issues. He went down a pretty deep and with the gambling stuff that happened, and came out on the other side of kind of like really turning around some things there, to the point that I think the teams, and obviously the Titans here, who invested that much money in him, getting back to that word trust I talked about in the first segment, he's been able to regain that trust to the point that obviously the Titans don't think that's going to continue to be an issue, or they wouldn't have given him that much money.
Yeah, and hey, second chance, third chances, eighth chances. Life is a journey. I'm not trying to say the guy doesn't deserve, and he had a great year last year. I mean, he had 70 cuts, and people are putting in the chat that he had a bunch of drops, which is true. He also caught 76 balls. He had over 1,000 yards, and he was durable. He played in all 17 games. So,
I think when I look at what team has the major advantage, when I look at the Titans' offensive line, there's still a lot of question marks.
Yeah.
They bring in, so you got J.C. Latham, who's going to be their new starting left tackle. Peter Skoronski, a guy that we talked about a lot on this podcast before in last year's draft. He's their left guard. Lloyd Cushenberry's new, so get that chemistry between Will Levis. Right guard right now, from what I've read, just from a bunch of Times reports, is like really up in the air. You have three guys that are, I think, competing. Daniel Brusco, who's a veteran. Diller Redunce, who has been moved all over. And then one other player that's still competing right guard. And then right tackle, Nicholas Petit-Frere, has a guy that And I think he only played 3 games last season. Was season ended due to a shoulder injury. Still rehabbing. So you just don't know with that right side. And when I'm thinking like where the Bears can take advantage of this matchup, you have a guy named Montez Sweat on the opposite side. If he needs to go against that right tackle who hasn't played in a long time, and Nicholas Petit-Frere, that's where the Bears can maybe win in the trenches. And again, you're going against Will Levis, who's a second-year player in the new offense. That's where things can get a little just sway into the Bears' favor as I'm thinking about this matchup in June.
I mean, if they're struggling at right guard, maybe the Bears should make a call and ask them if they want to have Nate Davis back.
He don't practice either.
They don't really have that replacement. But yeah, I tend to agree with you, Nick. I mean, look, Skoronski's going to be a rock there at left guard, but Latham, this will be his first NFL game,
and he's switching from right tackle to left tackle. Like, they think they obviously can do it, but you have to project there.
Yep, for sure. So, all right, well, I want to get a little bit more into kind of how this game projects out. The line on the game, I think, is very interesting, just as a starting point. But in the meantime, as we enjoy our summer, make sure you check out our friends at Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary, because they are here to elevate your summer. Sunnyside is your home for judgment-free cannabis shopping. They have a crazy selection with over 100 different strains to choose from, with easy online ordering and in-store pickup. Wherever you are in Illinois, Sunnyside has a location for you. They have spots as far south as Champaign and as far north as South Beloit.
Let's go, Beloit.
It's as far north as you can go in Illinois. Stop in the store nearest you for expert guidance from their staff, or select from quality lines like Cresco or Florical. They also have High Supply, Good News, Remedy. So you can go there, pick all those up on your way, and just check out Sunnyside. You can go to sunnyside.shop. If you want to take advantage of that, use code HICHGO. Again, that's code HICHGO at checkout. You'll get 35% off some of those brands I just mentioned, like Cresco, Good News, and more, to elevate your first purchase. Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary, bright buys every day, only for 21 plus or Illinois medical card holders.
You got to check out Sunnyside, and then you got to check out the Circa Sportsbook. And one of the reasons why they have these tight money line splits and a low hold model. Games will strive to be at a -110 split on the Circa Sports menu, unlike other sports books, which may use a -115 or even -120 splits. And Circa Sports keeps as little money as possible on large market bets, especially compared to some of those other books. And they also have high app limits and transparency. What I mean by that is that Circa Sports does not limit players based on their winnings. Every player has the same limits, unlike other books who do limit winning players. And look, Circa encourages you to go check out and download and explore those other sports betting apps just so you can see for yourself. And Circa's customer service. There are real people behind the Circa Sports brand who resolve issues in a timely fashion, unlike other books who use those darn chatbots. All aspects of the app are being run by the same team that run the main Circa Sportsbook at Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas. So go download the Circa Sports Illinois app at circasports.com/Illinois-app to sign up today. Also, be on the lookout for Circa events, watch parties, and tailgates. They're with us for all the Cubs Friday 120 clubs, so you got to check them out. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537. Text GAMB to 833-234 or visit areyoureallywinning.com.
So I think you guys already know the answer to this because we put out a Twitter poll this morning. Carm, do you know what the line is on this game?
4.5.
Okay.
Yep.
Was that what you would have guessed if you didn't know?
That's tough to say because no, I do know and I didn't know and I don't know.
I think I would have guessed that the Bears would have been favored by 2.5.
Oh.
Maybe straight up 3. Maybe 3.5 to count for the home field advantage a little bit. But I was a little surprised that it was all the way up to 4.5.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's showing some Bears
Some confidence, yeah.
respect a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the fact that people love to bet the Bears.
Well, yeah, that's part of it. But I think it's and so I think my question though is, I wonder if the Bears are being overvalued a little bit with that. With the hype, and then they're gonna have Hard Knocks. I'm interested to see if this line moves at all between now and kickoff, which I wish it was a Sunday, but it's not. Actually, I don't wish that.
You definitely.
But we asked you guys on Twitter this morning, so make sure you're following us at CHGO_Bears. Bears are early 4.5 favorites against the Titans. What do you think happens? Option 1 was Bears cover 4.5. Option 2, they win but they don't cover. Or 3, they lose. Now we understand it's a Twitter poll and the results are going to be somewhat skewed.
I went with win don't cover for the record.
Yeah, that's honestly I did too.
There you go.
Yep.
And I got the Bears winning by 20. So screw you guys.
Wow, Hoge.
So I'm with the 65.2% in Bragg's land that just have the Bears covering easily.
Why not?
28.9% said the Bears win but don't cover, and then there's 6% out there that are just haters that think the Bears are going to lose.
6%ers.
Losers.
Those are just Packer fans.
Yeah, that's true. They found our poll.
Yeah.
Found the poll.
Good poll. Excellent job, Hoge.
Thanks.
I mean, you just came out of nowhere with a poll today. I mean, I don't know, completely out of nowhere, but that's not a normal Monday for you. I was impressed.
Wow, so
came up with a poll, tweeted the poll, asked us what we thought about the poll. It was a good poll. It's a good job.
Well,
it's a good way to start our previews.
Trying to let Greg enjoy his vacation.
I'm doing the poll tomorrow.
No, you're not.
Might not be as good.
No, you're not.
We're gonna do the same poll
consistent.
on the
Consistent.
Texans. No, we really are.
Oh, it's on the spreadsheet that
Well, we'll add that column. In the
No, but I
spreadsheet.
might need to add it.
Just
that
in
column
case.
needs to be added.
Yeah.
Poll spreadsheet. Dates. Polls.
But Ryan Poles has a bunch of spreadsheets.
Yeah.
The best,
A lot of good gum. Spreadsheets. Ideas. Certainly. Polls. All right.
Whatever number of spreadsheets Ryan Poles has is the number of spreadsheets more than you have.
Do you think a person's success level in their professional life correlates directly to spreadsheets? Can we put that as a poll?
I think there is some kind of common denominator.
Spreadsheets?
I use spreadsheets sometimes
For what?
when I do or player profiles. I'm like, this guy, check. This guy, haven't checked. I use them sometimes, depending on the
brought
part
up
of the
this
season.
topic. I feel so inferior right now.
You brought it up.
I got to get it back going. Do you think Caleb Williams has a spreadsheet for fans that in jerseys? Can we talk about
His
that at some
dad
point?
had a spreadsheet for when he was going to transfer out of Oklahoma to where his son was going to go to school.
Jim Cook.
Jim Cook got 4 spreadsheets open right now. I'm fascinated what's on those spreadsheets right now. Just bring him over here. Let's go. Let's see who wants to sponsor this show. Let's go. Or any show here for that matter. Thank you very much.
What do you have for me, Carm? Because you were boasting right before the show started about I have so much stuff for you, Hoge.
Hoge. Wow. Thank you for this opportunity. Number one, you went through the coaching staff, but you didn't get hit on the guy that you should be hitting on.
Oh yeah.
That's Colt Anderson, who is the Titans special teams coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
He worked with Callahan in Cincinnati. He was the assistant special teams coach, damn it, Hoge.
So he's getting a promotion.
That's correct. And as you know, Hoge, as a head special teams coach, you're only as good as your assistants. And this guy was there for the Bengals. They were 10th in punt return average last year, Anderson. They were 8th in opponent punt return average, 7 yards per game, Anderson.
Good.
They were 2nd in opponent kickoff return average, Anderson. They were 5th in opponent net punting, Colt Anderson. Something that we got to fear.
That's not who I thought you were going to talk about on the coaching staff.
Well, I got Scott Fuchs, too, who I could see on your... Fuchs?
Yeah.
Fuchs.
F-U-C-K-S.
What the Fuchs?
You would think
It's Fuchs.
You would think it's...
It says on the website it is pronounced like books, which would mean it's Fuchs.
Fuchs.
Fuck.
Not Fuchs, unless you pronounce
Fuchs.
Books.
Fuchs.
You say Books?
books.
I gotta give myself
read lots of books.
Oh, fuck.
You need to read a book.
That's terrible. Scott, you do it.
Yeah, you do it.
You do it.
I can hear
What?
it again.
Scott Fuchs.
Can't.
He does, doesn't he? My guy, I didn't realize that was the best part of him. But the reason why Scott Fuchs is interesting is that he is their assistant offensive line coach, which is amazing. The guy's been in college for 30 years. Fuchs was a Saluki in 2008.
Show him some respect.
Hey, that is respect. And he was an assistant at KU in 2023. What does that mean, Hoge? For Fuchs. What does that mean? That means that he coached Austin Booker, baby. 6 Degrees of Bears. Scott Fuchs.
For the record, he didn't go to college for 30 years.
This is the first time he's been in the NFL. He's been a college coach for 30 years. Yeah. Finally getting an opportunity. But that's not the leader in the clubhouse.
What the fuck's?
Oh, it's not?
It's not. No. The leader is the defensive quality control coach, which is Lori Locust.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. If you want to be intimidated by anybody in the NFL right now, go look up Lori Locust and look at what she's done in her career. This is her 5th season, her first 4 with the Bucks. She's got a Super Bowl ring, and Bucks NFL. Look at their stat. Led the NFL in rushing defense while she was there. 92 a game. 5th in sacks. They get to the quarterback. 3rd in tackles. 1st in quarterback hits. 5th in takeaways. Vita Vea was dominating under the tutelage of defensive quality control coach Lori Locust.
Ook. Man.
I mean,
I do love
Lori Locust is coming for you, buddy, at week 1.
I love some of these profiles that these websites write up. Like, we're giving Vita Vea the defensive quality control. Shout out. She was the assistant D-line coach for the Bucks.
Okay. I mean, that for a...
Sorry, I thought you were saying she was the quality control.
No, now she's the defensive quality control.
That's a little bit different.
But Locust, I mean, how many women in the game are the assistant D-line coach? That's amazing.
The Bears have
running backs, assistant.
Running backs. Coach.
King.
All right. I mean, D-line is a whole nother level. Yeah, that's about as intense as it possibly gets. Not that any of the jobs aren't intense. But.
By the way, a couple other connections to the Bears. Tyke Tolbert, the Bears wide receivers coach the last few years, they got fired along with most of the staff, is now the Titans wide receivers coach. So he's a little revenge situation going on week 1. And then Chris Harris, of course, former Bears safety, who's been a coach now for a long time, was, talked about as a potential option for the Bears defensive coordinator job. He ended up as the passing game coordinator and cornerbacks coach with the Titans, so he's there as well. So,
and the Bears actually have one of their old coaches in Jason Houtailing?
Yes,
assistant offensive line coach. Yeah. So he was there with Nate Davis in Tennessee for a little bit.
So there you go.
What do you think it would take at this point in my career to be able to get to one of these gigs? Just an assistant to the assistant coach. If I started out as a volunteer at Carmel, you want to spend more time with me. It's like, your volunteer special teams, like bring you water guy. How long do you think it would take me? Do you think I could do it in this lifetime?
Look, there's plenty of gigs that I would be happy to provide a reference for. That would not be one of them.
Okay, let's say you reference me and I get in at a 1A high school in downstate Illinois. How long? What percentage chance would you give that I could get some level of assistant to the assistant in the NFL?
0.
What percent?
I'm hippie nerd's got it. 60-year-old tennis player to NFL assistant coach. I mean, why can't I get that done?
I don't know.
You could be the first, Carm.
Look, if you want to really get into Lori Locust's career, I did notice as I was looking through this earlier, like she was a long time assistant coach at the Keystone Assault Don't know what that is.
She was in the Alliance of American Football.
Susquehanna Township High School, Central Penn.
She was the co-special teams coordinator for the Lehigh Valley Steelhawks of the National Arena League.
So you gotta go.
But I
places.
mean, I think I'm better than Locust.
I strongly disagree with that.
Yes.
I think it's disrespectful you even said it.
Yeah, you're probably right. I apologize, Lori. I didn't mean that at all. You're better than me at everything you do. Congratulations.
Well, I don't know about that.
Everyone's got
Yeah,
their
everything she
strengths
does.
and
I don't
know if
weaknesses.
she was doing the show with us, that she'd be breaking down
No, that she
Marcedes
does.
Lewis the way you can.
Thank you.
True.
Yeah.
All right.
Actually,
take
she
it.
probably can do that too. She's probably got a lot of respect for Marcedes Lewis.
I take it back. I'm coming for you, Locust.
All right. Take 3 on trying to wrap this up. There's your in-depth Tennessee Titans preview, and we're going to talk about the Houston Texans coming up on our next preview. In the meantime, though, snidbits, shout-outs.
Well, can we
What else
talk-
you got here?
Oh, well, I'd like
Mark?
to talk. I'd like to talk about Caleb Williams for a second here and play the clip that we pulled, if we can. Can we do that?
This qualifies as a snidbit for sure.
So, apparently, a gentleman reached out to get a Caleb Williams jersey, and it did not go as planned. And
What do you mean by that? I don't know anything about this story. I sort of when he tried to buy one.
he tried to buy one.
Okay, well that's different than reaching out and like asking for one.
No, he attempted to buy one.
Okay.
It didn't. The service was not what he had wanted, and Caleb got wind of it, and then Caleb took time out of his day to hook him up. In essence, here he is.
Hey Connor, it's Caleb. I just wanted to reach out. I heard that there was a bit of confusion with the whole jersey situation, so just wanted to reach out. Let you know the Fanatics said that you'll be one of the first to receive, and much love. Thanks for the support, and got a little gift for you. We'll be inviting you to a game on our behalf. Like I said, much love and thanks for the support. Go Bears.
This dude has time after OTAs when he's chilling out in the middle of his studying to hook up a guy with a Caleb jersey and tickets.
Man, the people. Caleb Williams.
So this is a pre-order jersey that just didn't come in time? Is that what we're talking about?
The details are a little hazy here, Hoge.
Okay.
Do you understand what happened?
I do not. I was probably
I think that is what happened.
Okay.
It was supposed to be there at a certain time, and it wasn't.
so jerseys coming from Fanatics.
All right.
According to Gary Ross there. Obviously didn't get the jersey. Caleb sees that, reaches out.
Oh, good for Caleb.
Yeah. I wonder if if he's seeing that on social media. It's a very one-of-one thing.
Yeah.
How
I
much
guess
else
this
is
is
he?
why I'm not trying to push back at all. I'm just kind of confused at why this elevated to. I mean, it's very cool of Caleb to do,
To reach him, yeah.
but I imagine that this guy's not the only one who didn't get his jersey.
True.
Yeah, and don't you realize when you order things online that just sometimes it doesn't work out exactly how it's going to work out, and
Especially if it's pre-ordered.
But our dude is, I think he's just letting you know in different ways that he is, as Nick just said, sort of man of the people, not above anything. I'm coming here with my mouth shut and my ears open. He's been showing up at Old Crow doing the Green Bay sucks chant. He wants to be. He's doing everything he can to not separate himself, but to be a part of the people, to be likable, to be appreciated, and I think that's who he wants to be. And I think, and regardless of that, it's also just great strategy. It makes, if you don't like this guy right now, I don't know what
Okay.
I don't know why you wouldn't.
There's more context. Thank you to people in the comments because I did not know about this story. Apparently, they're saying these things are back ordered till September.
Okay.
Zachary says he's not getting his till September 26th.
Oh,
All right, that's a different conversation.
is it? Does Caleb got to give
You
tickets?
order a jersey and that's a different conversation. I was a little confused at why this fan was this upset that he hasn't gotten his Caleb jersey when the guy was just drafted 6 weeks ago.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
this makes more sense if he's getting Junior Hayes just went ahead and bought the Bajent jersey. That's probably a good idea.
Good choice.
You probably get that a little faster. So if they're now saying you're not going to have your jersey for the first game, yeah, I'd be a little upset too. That makes more sense.
Are they offering refunds?
I don't know.
Great
I
question.
don't know, Carb. This was your story you were bringing to the show.
I just like the. Okay.
I thought you were going to have a little bit more info.
I'm going to point. Listen. I went deep on Fuchs and a million other Titans. I admit it. I'll point the thumb. I dropped the ball on the details of the story. I just thought the video was cool, so my bad. But look,
I thought it was a fun video. This actually sounds like a story.
I mean,
5 months for a jersey?
newsflash: sometimes production doesn't work well. I'm sure you could cancel it and get your money back. I highly doubt.
Yeah,
that.
but they're having these issues with the baseball jerseys too. Like this sounds like a real problem.
At that point, you could just wait until the first home game of the season, just buy the jersey in the stadium.
Right.
And you would still get it sooner than if you pre-ordered.
That's true. Yeah. Go that route.
I mean, maybe this is an opportunity for me to start up my own shipping company. Start making jerseys, do it on the side. Not authentic, but, Carm-authentic.
I think big cram here. I'm not getting mine till October. This is a problem. Caleb's too popular.
That's crazy that they're even like estimating that it's October.
Yeah.
Well,
How hard is it to make a jersey?
remember people are mad at me for tweeting out the rack of Justin Fields jerseys the day before he got traded.
I do remember that. Yep. Seen those.
No, there you go. There's an option.
And
You go.
people were so mad that I did that.
Anybody
All I
can-
was doing was saying, these people think Justin's not going anywhere. You could get the jerseys. What was it, like 80% off? I don't even remember
It
what
was
it was.
very
It
cheap.
was a great deal.
That'll be interesting. How many people show up to Bears training camp of the 9 dates that are available, which came out over the weekend, in a Justin Fields jersey?
Well, they're not going to have their Caleb Williams jerseys,
That's
apparently.
true. Yeah.
That's why I thought this just started as a fun video. This is an actual story to me. Gary Ross saying Patrick Scales reached out to help the fan. I mean, I don't know that every single fan here just, needs personal.
You can't cancel. That, to me, is the official story. And a big.
You have to ship
Well,
them
that's what
out
I'm saying. It
first.
sounds like Fanatics has a real problem here. If the players are now taking it to this level where they're like,
They have to get
we'll
involved.
do a weekend to help you. I'm guessing Caleb. It's not like Caleb has a closet full of his own jerseys. I wonder what his order date is. When does he get his jersey? Hopefully
Yeah.
by week 1.
Look at how many people have ordered Bears Caleb jerseys here. Travis 899.
David says he canceled, so I don't know if that's true. He says you can cancel. I just did it last week.
Or the jersey on Temu for $15. I downloaded the Temu app on the Super Bowl day. I get so many damn ads because of that. Don't.
Is that a real thing? That just seems like a scam.
I haven't. They were offering me like 200% off for some things. Like, I'm like, 200% off. So you're giving me money back? I don't know. I haven't ordered anything off them, but they got me with their ads.
Okay.
Not gonna lie.
All right. Well,
Temu.
that sucks if you were getting all excited about it. But just remember, big picture, you're going to get it eventually. You'll have it. It'll be right.
Speaking of those Fields jerseys, a friend of mine who's actually a listener of the show, Rocco, he ordered a Pittsburgh Steelers Justin Fields jersey, but he customized it. He got number 1 on the jersey instead of number 2. And then obviously Justin Fields is wearing number 2 now.
Wasn't that what Danny did?
Parco did the 13.
For Caleb. Yeah.
So he has a 13 Caleb jersey.
Even though it's Keenan Allen.
Breaking news, by the way, outside the football world. Dan Hurley saying no to the Lakers going back to UConn.
Kind of had a feeling that would be the case.
So J.J. Redick?
I was really hoping that he was going to say yes to that gig and last for 5 seconds of it. That would have been the worst hire ever.
He turned down 6 years, $70 million from the Lakers.
I mean, he's
Okay.
That's huge for coach money.
UConn probably came up with the money. Keep their national championship.
What's he making at UConn? 8, 7?
Making more now, I guarantee you that.
Yeah.
Do we have supers?
A couple in the snidbit world. Just the people reaching out to me, to my guy Colin, who's I got a little note from him over the weekend. Hi, Carm. Let me know if you need any help on Aussie slang with Tory Taylor. I was born in Chicago, but I've lived in Australia for the last 30 years, and I feel like a pretty good translator from Aussie to U.S. English. For your information, Australians are some of the biggest coffee snobs in the world. So you want to get and go with them, I would be sure to recommend some good coffee outlets next time you were at Hallis Hall.
Yeah, I've heard that. Coffee, you got to get the coffee.
So I'm going to, when we see Tory come open locker room season,
Okay.
I'm making the move. And shout out to my guy Mason, who is a diehard, loves the content. Looking forward to the season, reaching out personally. You do that, you get a mention on the show.
Thank you, Mason.
And Hoge, did you know, by the way, buddy?
Probably not.
I mean, it's countdown to enshrinement week. Bears preseason football. 52 days, 7 hours, 3 minutes, and 34 seconds
Sweetness.
from now.
Did you read that on Brags.com?
I read it on ProFootballHallOfFame.com, which I don't know why I was searching that today. It's probably had to do something with the Titans, but I got there.
Did you see the unfortunate news, by the way? Probably not terribly surprising that Mongo's not going to be able to make it
I did see that.
to Canton.
That sucks.
So they're going to have to make other arrangements for honoring him properly. I'm sure it'll be,
I mean, it makes sense, honestly.
pretty damn emotional. And then our guy Jared Payton's going to be the one
Presenting.
Second time he gets to do that since he did it for his father.
What did Jared Payton just do this weekend?
Top 5 lives of all time, Jared Payton.
I know.
This guy's unbelievable. I'm so jealous.
It's remarkable for somebody that we call a close friend. Like he lives a different life.
Completely different.
I mean, yesterday, you guys, Jared Payton married a couple today at Flagship on the Fox. Did you see that?
Yeah, he married somebody at his restaurant.
It's right here, Carm.
Jared Payton is what do you even call that? Is an ordained minister? What is he?
I think these days you could just anybody could do it.
What's the title that he has that you can do that? I want to do that. Wouldn't you love to get married by me?
I'm pretty sure you can go online. I think you can go online and be licensed to do that.
I think
in
you can,
5
yeah.
seconds.
Jared can do it all, man. Jared fucking Payton.
He's marrying people. That's so adorable.
Yeah. I got a shout out too.
Yep.
Shout out to the boys at Carmel getting back at it today. Started summer camp and all the other
High school football.
IHSA high school programs out there too. If you're getting going, I don't know if they all start the same day, but I'm sure they do. Starting to feel like that time again.
Hell yeah.
Forward to being back on the grass and ready to go. Shout out to them.
That's big. There's nothing better than you in football season.
I agree.
You're so.
Not sure my wife agrees.
You're
but
so.
I agree with
Your
what you said,
stress
yeah.
level goes to the moon. It's amazing. All right. Supers before diehards or diehards before supers? So we got some diehards, man. Supers?
Let's get some supers in here.
Let's go for the supers.
Crystal $4.99. Guess I'll send one since there aren't any. Thank you, Crystal. Happy Monday, guys. Sending love. Bear down.
You are the best,
Paging
Crystal.
the Duke. Paging the Duke. Thanks so much, Crystal.
It is remarkable that we can go from
Millions.
like what was the max of super chats we ever had at the end of the season? We were like there was like over 100.
Yeah, I had over 100 on, was it the free agency show we did?
I mean, it makes sense, but yeah, we have those shows and then June 10th.
June 10th, man. A little quieter.
Yoshino, $5. Did you guys see the NFL draft look back on Roku? It's going to show on the 14th.
I only watched.
Did not.
I did not see that either.
This is the time, though, that I don't know the exact date that wide receiver show is coming out on Netflix, but if they could go ahead and drop that tonight, I would
Oh, that'd be great.
greatly appreciate it. Gary Ross, $4.99.
My guy.
Look at Gary.
So good.
Gary's not a frequent super chatter, but you know he knew today. He's like this.
We needed him.
We need a super chat.
We needed you, Gary. $4.99 with Lewis back and Waldron never using fullbacks in his offense. Who can we trade Kari Blasting game to? His chances to stick are less than 10%.
It's interesting that you say that, Gary, because by my eyes, he was getting used an awful lot at OTAs.
Also, Waldron's last press conference, he brought up Blasting Game on his own.
KB. He brought up
He
the
wasn't even
KB.
asked about it.
Yeah.
And it was genuine.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he's trying to up his trade value to.
Who still uses fullbacks? Like San Francisco.
Guys, Justin Fields went for almost nothing. What are you getting for a fullback?
Nothing.
I don't think you're
It's a better question would be like if the Bears cut Curry, where does he land?
conditional 7th. You would get for a fullback? Like,
7th or 6th? How about we redo the Claypool trade?
my
with
point is,
Curry?
I like Kari Blasting Game. I think he's more valuable on the team than whatever you're going to get back for him.
Yeah.
And he can play on special teams too. I don't.
When
Gary, I'm not going to sit here and say he's a lock, but I think there's a better than 10% chance he's on this team.
Well, Chan's call on the Raiders is not bad.
Luke Getsy. Makes sense. If he gets a ball out in the flat, what DB one-on-one is taking down Kari Black? He's built like one muscle. Just one gigantic muscle.
Gary, bring up the Tyler Clutch trade. That's a good reference. That netted the Bears. Anybody remember?
I have no idea.
Sherrick McManus.
Wow, that's
Pretty damn good player for a while.
Can't
Very
believe
good.
that Kari just showed up in the chat. What's up, Kari? Good to see you.
see one muscle. Look at him. Look at his neck.
Big dude.
Is Kari Nagy as Kari? They seem like they have a similar sense. of
Yeah,
humor.
where's
asked
that?
that
Yeah,
I have. I definitely have.
Yeah.
I miss Ryan Nall. Oh, Ryan Nall, he retired.
Ryan
Nall. He retired recently.
Yeah, Chris Emmett was very sad about that.
Had a good run.
That was this guy. We were telling Emma that he should have had the exclusive on that.
Missed out. There'll never be another Ryan
Respectful
Nall.
for Ryan Nall not to.
He was probably talking to someone and missed it. I was like, that was definitely for you. All right. Couple of diehards today, Hoge.
Let's do it.
Nick. First off, we got Matt. Didn't start out great for Matt. Sure didn't. Good soldier. It worked his way up. Finally got his chance. Wasn't great, but Matt hung in there. Times got tough. Matt, he bowed up. He looked in the mirror. He changed his look. He transformed. He elevated. He connected. Matt's got nicknames. And very few people, for the record, call him Matt. But he is Matt to us. And he deserves all the Matt accolades that we're given right now. Matt is a diehard.
Why do I
Matt.
not know who you're talking about?
What's that?
Did you guys pick up on it?
Eberflus, right?
Oh.
Lots of nicknames.
That's
Didn't start off good for
it's
him.
not Eberflus, it's Matt.
It never hit. It honestly.
I don't know why I was thinking Nagy.
Well, you should
Man.
get this one. Maybe you'll get this one. Our guy Joe. Joe. What can you say about Joe,
I
right?
don't know. You tell me.
Well, he's the heart and soul. He's maximum effort. He's the ultimate leader. He's the ultimate competitor. Joe's jersey, straight up, should be hanging from the rafters.
Yeah.
And by the way, as a heart and soul guy, Joe would sit by the rafters. And he also would sit at the top of Soldier Field. That's where he will sit when the Bears finally get the new Soldier Field built on the South Loop, damn it. Joe also does his best trying not to suck. And by the way, Joe doesn't suck. Joe is amazing. And Joe is a diehard. My guy Joe.
Joe Madden.
Joe Madden.
Joakim Noah.
It was a combo. Madden, Noah.
What about the arguable GOAT?
Joe?
Montana. Did you forget about
It could have been a good. That would have been good. We should have put Montana in there.
Arguable
He
GOAT.
is an arguable GOAT, Joe. You are an arguable GOAT by becoming a diehard. And you're right, TWE. We could have talked about Joe more differentially, but instead, we maintained our normal purveyance. All right, Hogue.
I think we're done here. Please hit that like button. Please subscribe. We greatly appreciate it, especially in the dog days of summer here.
You are the true diehards. We love every single one of you for showing up today.
Yes, sir.
Big shows all week in the middle of this, including a Bear coming in on Thursday.
and follow us on Twitter at CHGO_Bears. You can vote on our poll about what happens against the Titans. We'll have another one for you tomorrow with the Texans. We're all going W, though, week 1.
W.
W?
W.
W.
Reserve my right to
Steven's a little worried. I'm not going to lie.
It's a W, but I don't think they're covering.
Okay.
I think it could be
That's how I voted.
2-point game.
That's how I voted.
There you go.
I'm reserving my right to change it when we do this show more.
Well, the Texans are a little bit more interesting. We'll talk about them tomorrow, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here at noon tomorrow. Become a diehard. AllCHGO.com/diehard. Like Carm said, you guys are the real diehards. We greatly appreciate it. We will talk to you tomorrow.
We all silly like the mayor.